Representative Derrick Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate the time.
Thank you, Faith. Great to be with you.
So I want to talk to you because not too long ago, we were talking and you said that you were seriously considering a run for governor. Where are you right now?
We will run. The time is now. When you think about where families are in Georgia, they simply want a governor that's going to wake up each and every day with their family on their mind. And so I will be that type of governor. When you think about the 11 million citizens in Georgia, they simply just want to continue to play by the rules, but they're seeing a government that continue to change the rules for the well-connected, the top 1%. And so they're frustrated. And quite frankly, my 70-year-old constituent that calls me up all the time, she says she's pissed. And that's frustrating when you hear someone that said, I worked for 51 years. I'm receiving my Social Security, and I turn on the television, and I hear government threatening my Medicaid, my Medicare, Social Security. And so when you think about that and hear not just that one voice, that 71-year-old, but you're starting to hear a lot of citizens across Georgia. They simply want someone to fight for them. Not just to fight for them, but to fight for something as well.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. You will be entering a race with some well-known figures out there. Keisha Lance Bottoms, Jason Estevez, pretty well-known statewide on the Republican side. Chris Carr, potentially Burt Jones. We're hearing he's going to get in the race. How are you going to set yourself apart? Of course, you have the primary first and then to the general.
Yeah, so my 42 years of leadership, my resume differentiates me from everyone, both on the Democratic side and the Republican side. No one has 22 years in the United States Navy like I do. No one has 10 years of corporate America experience like I do. And only a few have 10 years under that gold dome. And so when I think about the landscape on the Democratic side, I'm not so much concerned where when citizens see my resume, I'm on the top of the list. And I don't say that in a bragging way, but I'm saying it in the most confident way. No one else has 42 years of experience like I do.
So would you say that your next couple of months is educating people about who Derrick Jackson is? You might not know the name, but check my resume.
Absolutely. And some of them, quite frankly, already know my name because when I ran for lieutenant governor 3 years ago, we crisscrossed Georgia. In 33 days, we traveled 8,000 miles. We were averaging about 230, 240 miles a day, getting our name out there. And I took 14 counties in South Georgia. I came in first place. Came up short for the lieutenant governor race, but that created a buzz 3 years ago. As it relates to the Republican side, they just do not have the legislation on their side, policies on their side. And so quite frankly, the Republicans are going to have a different kind of fight on their hands. So I am truly confident if I come out of this primary, we will win the general election.
Ask you this because you did bring up your lieutenant governor run in 2022. What do you say to those people who say, hey, look, you did not win this race. How can I trust you to win the governor's race?
Yeah, I mean, that's the same question they're going to have to ask Stacey Abrams, right? And so we don't always win when we run for a race. But what they will get is that Derrick Jackson never quit on them. Derrick Jackson got back in office, as I am, to continue to champion their voice. I will not quit on them. I will be an advocate for them, just as I have been with labor. When they were on the picketing lines, I was there too. As citizens were protesting these last 8 weeks, I've been there too. And so they're going to know that deep down inside, my integrity speaks for me, my honesty speaks for me, my courage speaks for me, and my resume speaks for me.
You brought up a very popular name, Stacey Abrams. As of this moment, she has not turned down a third run for governor. What would a campaign for you look like running against Stacey Abrams, who is a huge name here in Georgia? Or do you think it's time for her to pass the baton and let somebody else run?
Yeah, I think it's time for Stacey to pass the baton. If she's reading the room correctly on social media, they're all saying no, Stacey, and I echo that. It's time for us to move on in Georgia from Stacey. We don't need someone that's going to show up every 4 years for office. And so we have to think about, what do we want in Georgia? What kind of leader do we want? Do we want someone that's simply that we're going to hear their name every 4 years, or do they want someone that's with them every day, as I have been since I've been serving under that gold dome?
Let me ask you this. If you are elected governor, you get that job, day one, what are you doing?
Day one, I have to repeal a lot of bad laws. I mean, when you think about 893 children died during birth in 2022. In 2021, 776 infants died. Not only infants were dying, we still have women who are dying. 169 died simply trying to bring life into this world. So a pregnancy should not be a death certificate for our citizens in Georgia. And so there's a bill out there, House Bill 481, that created this climate. This bill was one of the signature pieces of legislation by the current governor. And so if I'm going to be that governor that's going to promote healthy, well-being, quality of life for families, I got to repeal these bad laws, because if I don't, the trajectory that we're on is going to continue to get worse. And so we have to be a family first type state. I think about my own family. I think about my wife. I think about my 7 children, my 4 girls, my 3 boys. I want my 4 girls to have the freedom and the autonomy over their body like my 3 sons. This is not hard. My 5-year-old grandson is going to look back at this moment and ask, what did I do? And so I got to do as much as I can while I can to make sure that Georgia is number one for families. Georgia is number one in healthcare. Georgia is number one in public education. And so that will not happen overnight, but collectively we can get this done. But you need the right leader at the steering wheel to make sure that we can repeal and replace these bad laws, and then focus our resources in urban, suburban, and rural areas to get it done. That's what they're going to be counting on their governor. Someone that's going to make the right decisions, hard decisions, as I have in my 42 years of professional life. And so when I think about what I leverage, my 22 years in the Navy, for example, I had to make some tough decisions. And the beautiful thing that those tough decisions, I've always brought everyone home on my 7 deployments. I would do the same thing for Georgians. All 159 counties should not be left behind. Small businesses should not be left behind. Black farmers should not be left behind. Families who are doing the right thing each and every day should not be left behind. So we can get this done, but we just need the right kind of leader that's have the right kind of conviction, the right kind of compassion, and the right kind of experience and know-how to make it happen.
So your background, you have years of military experience under your belt. You have years of corporate America under your belt. Some people might look at that background and say, I don't know how progressive you can be, because in those positions, they're typically a little bit more conservative than liberal leaning. How do you speak to those Democrats who might not trust that you will be progressive enough as they want you to be as governor, that they see you more of a moderate?
Yeah, so I would tell everyone they have to know Marie Jackson. My mother would have been 82 years of age. Her heavenly birthday was June 1st. She would have been 82. And while her time on this earth, she was a nurse for 40 years. And she taught me and my 3 siblings how to be compassionate. I can recall one time, I think I was about 10 or 11, she came home And she said, you know, Derrick, when I enter that room, I don't know if that patient is going to live or die. So I have to make sure I give compassion. I have to give what they call the bedside service and treat them in the right manner, because I don't know if their last moment of breathing will be with me holding their hands. And so I took that same kind of principle and philosophy and those set of values that she instilled in me into the Navy. That's the reason why I thank God that all my 7 deployments, 4 combat missions, 2 special operations, and 1 humanitarian, I never lost a sailor or an officer, because I always thought about their families. I thought about making sure that we achieve the mission and give them the right resources to achieve the mission, but more importantly, make sure that I put them in the best situation. And that's what I would do as governor, right? I think we get so mixed in with this identity politics. Is he progressive enough? Is he conservative enough? Is he moderate? I am a leader that makes sure that every family, Republican, Democrat, white or black, old or young, urban, suburban or rural, they're going to have a governor that's going to be there for each and every day, making sure that we build a state with not only with them in mind, but a quality of life, to make sure that that loved one that's simply trying to give birth, her death certificate is not stamped like it was for Adriana and Amber and Candy as preventable deaths. That would not happen on my watch. Those 41,000 Georgians that died during COVID just simply 5 years ago, they died, 41,000, and no one was held accountable. That would not happen on my watch. And so as much as folks would like to take my resume and put me in a box, it would be very hard, because Marie Jackson taught me the values and principles that goes beyond any borders of a box that someone can try to put me around.
Thank you. I want to be mindful of your time, so I am going to get into my final questions here. I do want to ask something that is beyond your role right now as a representative, beyond your role as a governor. It really kind of goes to the national level of where things are right now, but as governor, you would have to answer to them. A lot of people right now in Georgia and across the country, they're frustrated with elected officials. They feel like they elected them to go up there to do a job, and they feel like they are not doing the job on both sides of the aisle. How do you address this if you were elected governor?
Yeah, you know, when you think about our democracy, and democracy means something different to everybody. To me, I think about those 435 congressional members and the 100 senators. That's 535 individuals trying to govern for 340 million citizens. The Constitution has to mean something. Accountability has to mean something. Responsibility has to mean something. And so when working families from Georgia to Idaho to New York to California, I don't care where they're from, when they turn on the television and they're seeing someone to break laws, selling America, basically being an extortionist, that's problematic for me. Someone that mentioned to me a few days ago, they asked, how do I feel about a president that says, just pay me $1 million and I'll give you a pardon? That's problematic. So that's the reason why citizens are frustrated on both sides of the aisle, because they don't see someone who should be held accountable. We were all raised with a sense of accountability. Marie Jackson held me accountable, Lord knows, as a little boy. And if I did something wrong, she corrected me. And so we all know the difference between right and wrong. We all know the difference between good and bad. And so citizens are really asking those 535 individuals up in Washington, D.C., somebody's doing something bad that can adversely impact us all, and you need to hold them accountable. That's why they're frustrated. They continue to see a system. It's not democracy, it's not the economy. The system is failing us. And when the system starts to fail us, citizens will lose faith, they will lose trust, they will lose hope. And when citizens start to lose that, we're in dire straits. And that's why they're upset with both Republicans and Democrats up in Washington, D.C. Because some of the same things that we ask citizens to do, they're not doing in Washington, D.C. And so if I was governor, that White House will have a headache every day. Every day. Every day he comes out with a new executive order that's contrary to the Constitution, that will negatively impact 11 million citizens in Georgia. We would be filing lawsuits. I would even get on a plane and go up there and hold them accountable. Because that's what a real patriot would do. That's what a real governor would do. It's time out for playing politics. You just can't show up every 4 years because people are living each and every day and they want someone to show up for them each and every day.
Mr. Jackson, thank you so much for all of your time. Truly appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, thank you.